Hello everyone. I know that I just had a book haul, but somehow these books find a way into my life. So today I have 5 books to show you that I have just recently acquired. The first 2 came through a very regular book acquisition method, and that is discards or donations in the library book sale. So the first one is actually, fortunately, a book I've already read, but originally read from the library as an actual library book, and saw it and decided that I just needed to own it, and that is The Little Book of Hygge. I made a video about a year ago, or maybe a little under a year, all about Hygge, and this was one of the books that I read to learn about it, and it was actually my favorite one of the 3 that I read, and decided that I should have it on hand in case I need a reminder of how to be Hygge. And next, I finally have a copy of All the Light We Cannot See by Anthony Doerr. This one has been on my TBR for a few years, and it was really popular around booktube, but then also people in my real life were recommending it to me, and my mom hasn't even read this and I haven't, and it's one that I hope that I really enjoy. And finally I found a copy in the library book sale. The third one was on the little shelf in the staff room at work that has advanced reader copies up for grabs for staff, and this one isn't actually an advanced reader copy, but I'm assuming it was sent to advertise for the book, and that is Freshwater by Akwaeke Emezi. And this one I have seen around a lot lately, and the author is also Igbo, and if you saw my February wrap-up, you know I read a couple books by Igbo authors. And I think I read that this one mixes mythology with fiction, so it should be really interesting. And I didn't actually initially intend to take this home with me, but I had kept seeing it on that little shelf, and sometimes there will be one displayed on the top, so I thought that this one should be displayed because I had heard some buzz about it lately, and somehow when I grabbed it to display it, it ended up in my purse instead. And the next 2 books were both books from Paperback Swap, which is a site that I really love using. It's an easy way to get rid of books you no longer want to have and get books you do want for relatively cheap. So a couple books just recently became available that were on my wish list. So the first one is Alias Grace by Margaret Atwood, and I read The Handmaid's Tale, which you just saw in my last book haul, and read that a few years ago. Really loved the series on Hulu, and this now has its own series as well, which I haven't seen, but I definitely want to read more Margaret Atwood. And last is Ross Poldark by Winston Graham. This is the first book in a series, and you've probably heard of Poldark as a popular TV show on the BBC, and I've heard a lot of good things about the TV show but haven't seen it, and of course my instinct is to start with the book instead, so we'll give this one a go and see what I think. I don't actually really know a whole lot about what this is about, though I'm sure I've read the synopsis at some point, but luckily I have a wonderful ability to forget what I've learned about books because I like to go into them as fresh as possible. And I think that's also part of why I leave out the synopsis in a lot of my book reviews and book hauls and that sort of thing. So those are the 5 books that have just come into my space lately, and I haven't yet tried to fit them on my shelves, but I think I may have just run out of room again. I definitely am going to keep focusing on reading the books on my own shelves for the rest of this year, and hopefully get ahead of the book buying cycle. If you've read any of these books, please let me know what you thought, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.